Hey, welcome back. This is episode 4
of
PalsCast.
Yeah.
So, Quin's with me today.
I am. This is Quin.
Quin it is.
Yes. Is it Quin?
And I'm Hero Neko. So, distinguishable.
Yep.
Audible.
Yep. Sound just like her.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Since I gave you a topic last time.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot?
I'm gonna, yeah. You can pick any random topic or subject, and I will try to educate you on all that I know about this topic. That's how we're gonna start all of these PalsCasts.
Well, thanks for telling me while we're recording.
With a topic.
How about the topic is coming up with a topic? No.
I mean, I can talk to you about coming up with a topic.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like podcast-worthy stuff.
It depends on what podcast you're listening to.
Exactly. Do we have mugs of coffee in front of us, and are we talking with Frasier?
I would like that very much.
I'm sure you would. I don't know about the people watching this or listening to this.
Well,
shit. How about upcoming games that we're really looking forward to, and talk about some of the features in those games?
Okay. An upcoming game that I'm looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want a tangent, but that's not on topic.
Oh boy.
I would love. Well, how about this?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a tangent.
Yes.
That I have.
That's a very nice orange fruit.
And orange berries.
Tangerines.
That's good. That's funny.
Tangenturines.
Something rhymes with oranges, but things do rhymes with tangerines.
Yes, they do.
And mandarin.
Yes.
Slamderin. There we go.
Yeah, this is a different tangent.
My tangent. For video games is how no video game is D&D. How I kind of have a disappointment with video games in general, to where like the freedom and imagination that D&D is and has, and games, a lot of like the RPG kind of stuff that I play, like Witcher or Dragon Age or things like that, are just a preset kind of scenario and campaign of very limited choices comparative to that.
Well, yes and no.
Okay, but before we jump into this, that would be my tangent. Okay, so it's not appropriate to your topic, or I could just talk about what your topic was.
Well, let's do a quick rundown of that. So, D&D campaigns are about imagination and in the moment things. Games you just can't have that because they're developed.
Yeah.
However, there is imagination in these games. There's plenty of it.
Yes.
And just because you're just seeing graphics and you're observing characters and NPC dialogues and actions like that, that's still imagination. That's still being used. That is for you to observe. However, most of the time you're not with a group. And that dynamic is what I feel pushes games away from D&D.
That's a really strong point. That's because I do understand that there are very creative games out there, because the difference between Owlboy and Hollow Knight and Grand Theft Auto
and Metroid
and Skyrim and Metroid, right? Just what those games are, not mechanically, but in terms of campaign and story and the world building that is there. There's so much creativity and diverseness in all of those.
Yep.
That you would find in a lot of
D&D.
And you even look at Wizards of the Coast and the D&D campaigns, the pre-made campaigns that they sell, and that arguably has a very set or linear kind of story to it, which of course, again, like you were saying, though, in a group it can go very differently.
And honestly, to put it plainly, like every game you play, like every video game you have out there, just consider that a new D&D campaign.
Because I could play, well, I have played Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like restarted it, like done a new game of it, and it's always been a different experience.
Yep.
And that definitely, I think, is how those tabletop D&D-esque games can go. And I do understand the limitations that video games have, right? I mean, I know why you have only so many dialogue options. I know, because you can't. I understand why, for the most part, in most games.
Yes.
When you talk to an NPC, why you don't just get a chat window and you just talk to the NPC. I do understand these things.
If you wanted video game Dungeons and Dragons, you would just get on VR chat and just have a Dungeons and Dragons game on that.
Well,
that's literally what it is.
That's just fancy Discord.
Yeah, it is. Dungeons and Dragons is not meant to be played with a screen.
Well, I would just say D20.
Yeah.
Go to D20. So, it's a website that
you can host campaigns
which is like D20 would be the D&D Discord.
Yeah.
More or less, not official. I mean, they have other tools and services and maps and generators and there's a lot of great tools there that
Okay.
That's the place to host and facilitate an online D&D session.
Now, back on point.
Okay.
Games we're looking forward to.
Yeah. I can tell you.
Do you have another tangent? I can tell you another tangent.
I can tell you what game I'm not looking forward to. No. Well, okay. I can tell you what game I'm looking forward to that I won't be playing.
Okay. Which is?
World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth.
Oh yeah, it's coming out in a month.
And I really enjoy the game franchise. I just won't be playing it. But one feature
is it because it's a PvP update?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
because you opt into it. Like I always played on PvE servers, and they're pretty much making it so that PvE servers and PvP servers, it doesn't matter. What it is now is you go to your faction's capital, and then you just turn on World PvP. So it's an option. So you opt into it, and so then you turn that on at a capital. You can't turn it on or off unless you're at a capital. And then you go out there and you quest and you play the game and do all your adventuring. And if you have PvP on, well, now you can fight and join in fights against players from the other faction. And as an incentive to do this, you get better loot rewards and more experience gain while you're leveling. So things like that to kind of balance it out.
Okay.
So that's their PvP change, and I'm a PvE player.
Me
this
too.
Doesn't really affect me. It's now a toggle that I wasn't using in the first place.
Okay. So is that the reason why you won't want to play it?
I want to play it. This is a game that I want to play that I won't be playing.
Okay.
I want to play it. I just don't really have the time to spare to it, or the kind of guild environment that I would like.
Okay.
To make the experience, to make the sub worth it. So, but one feature that will be in Battle for Azeroth that I think is very interesting is their island expedition system.
Okay. Is that something that you'll have to pay for, or is that something that's included in a patch released? Because I know there's some things within these updates that some core content is the stuff you are literally paying for, but they also do patch the game and add in these different, not necessarily types, but I know that they add in some like loot drops or some things from the current expansion, which can either make the player who sees it want to play the expansion, or be like, oh cool, they're just giving us this too.
For patches and content updates, as long as you're subbed, you have access to that. Typically, so for Battle for Azeroth, there's a standard edition and there's the collector's edition. The collector's edition will come with like an extra mount and that's exclusive to the collector's edition.
In-game stuff like just
vanity cosmetic stuff.
Okay.
It comes with the collector's edition. Having a sub, you have access to the whole game.
But you still have to pay for the expansion. Because for Battle for Azeroth, you still have to pay for Battle for Azeroth.
Yes. Yeah. And then that will probably last for probably about 2 years of kind of how they've been going. They're a lot more planned with their content and patch.
Okay.
But you don't have to pay for patches.
True.
New content that comes out in Battle for Azeroth, you don't.
So my question was more like, if I'm subbed to it right now, I don't pay for Battle for Azeroth, but I'm still subbing every month. Do I get still some of the things that are in Battle for Azeroth?
Oh, the Battle for Azeroth, like exclusive stuff?
Yes.
So the island expeditions, no, you won't.
Okay.
So if you started the game right now and you bought Legion, which is the current expansion, and then Battle for Azeroth comes out, you can still play World of Warcraft. You cannot do the Battle for Azeroth specific content.
Okay.
Which is going to be the zones that are there. It's going to be the island expedition. Is going to be the war fronts. I believe those will be locked off.
Okay.
But all the other stuff is you'll have access to. All the Battle for Azeroth talent systems that are in place will be there for you.
Okay.
Even though you have a Legion copy, because it's formatted.
Okay.
That's the current standard. So things that are happening in Battle for Azeroth will also affect you in that way, like the talent changes and whatnot, but just some of the actual content of it you'll have access to.
Okay. Makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
My game, on the other hand, that I'm really looking forward to, because I've been playing this ever since the 3rd edition in the game, is Battlefield 5. So I've been playing, I started with Battlefield 3, played the shit out of that multiplayer. It's the only PvP game that I ever play. So I do Battlefield 3, played Battlefield 4, did Battlefield 1 at first, got away from it. Now I'm back into it because it's gotten a lot nicer. I didn't do Battlefield Hardline, which is like a cops and robbers thing, which is, it just seems silly to me. Then was there another one after that? No.
Was there a space one?
There was one way back before 3, I think, which was Battlefield. No, I don't know. I might be mixing it up with the Tom Clancy stuff.
Is Battlefield 5 the one where there's a woman?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. It's set in World War II, and there's women in it. Okay. How about fancy that? Gamers, fuck off, because they're gonna have women. Who gives a shit?
It was a strangely controversial announcement.
Yes.
You could say even a feature in the game.
Yes. For those of you who want historical accuracy in your game, that's fine. Go play Gods and Generals. That's a Civil War game that plays like absolute fucking shit, but it's historically accurate. So you can get your Johnnies off on that. I'm going to be playing Battlefield 5, which is made for people to play properly.
I would love for a game developer just to try to get in on this controversy and have the next Halo feature a female Master Chief.
Oh shit! There are female Spartans, but not a female Master Chief. Just gender bend them.
Yeah, and Cortana's still Cortana, but just a dude.
Same voice.
No, Cortana's Corey.
Oh yeah, Corey Tana. Just split the name up.
I like it.
Yeah. Anyways, there's a feature in Battlefield 5 that they tweaked from the previous games. In the previous games, it's called the spotting system.
Oh, I thought bullets healed.
No, not that. No. There's some historical accuracy in it where bullets do damage. And they do hurt.
And then there's bears, and those try to kill the players. And so the players have to help each other by healing them with the bullets.
I barely listened to that. But
that's good.
The spotting system in the previous games is you see a player, you hit a button. If you're playing on PC, I think it's middle click. If you're on the PS4, Xbox One, it's the right bumper. But you tag that enemy, and that enemy shows up even if they're behind cover. It lasts for a few good seconds, and it's to help your squad or your team identify where the enemy is at.
Oh, okay.
It seems nice, but no, this doesn't really make complete sense. Like there's bending historical accuracy, and then there's just becoming a game.
Yeah, that's true. In World War II, your shields don't regenerate.
True. And in World War One, or in Battlefield 1, which is set in World War One, you still had that tagging mechanic, so I could still see people from behind cover if someone else had tagged them.
Kind of like the infrared that they had in World War One.
Yes.
Yeah, you would have that in NAM.
Yeah, that was close to World War One, before World War Two.
No, but I'm saying like infrared. I was just trying to think of a more recent war, more or less.
I don't think it would have been a NAM. Maybe the Korean War or after that.
Okay.
Because NAM was the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, I'm not sure one way or another. It would be kind of like really fucking helpful for the problems that they face.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
A spotting system in Battlefield 5. It's now changed so you cannot select an enemy. You select an area. So, say I'm on like the ground and there's this ridge in front of me, and I see enemies on top of the ridge. Okay. I can tag the top of the ridge to let my squad, and I think it only shows to the squad, to let your squad know that there's something up there, or I'm pinging this area for a certain reason. Most of the time, it's because an enemy's up there. Sometimes it's if I'm talking to one of my squad mates and I want to tell them to go to a certain place and they're just not getting it, I just ping where I think they should go.
So it's just a mini map ping.
No, it's also on your heads-up display.
Oh, okay.
But I like that system better because it makes more sense. It's without actually pulling out a flare and throwing it in that direction, it works.
Yeah, I don't think a game like that needs fog of war or things.
No. But yeah, that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to.
When does it come out?
Oh, shit. November 10th or 11th?
Okay.
Yeah.
How about any games that you've been playing currently?
I've been playing Warframe. Quite a bit of Warframe. I've been getting back into the good stuff.
What's your favorite frame? What frame do you enjoy playing the most? I enjoy playing Ember because she's just an OP Warframe, because her ultimate ability is just everything within 30 meters ignites on fire. Yeah.
And that's pretty damn OP. I think I like Ashe the most. Ashe's ultimate it changed. It used to be extremely OP because every enemy within like 40 or 50 meters, he just teleports behind and does a big slash damage to them. And most of the time, that would just wipe the map.
Like a cool samurai blade move.
Yeah. And sometimes it only costs 70 energy out of like the 360 you have.
Oh, God. Well,
yeah. So in like defense missions, you just take everything.
Okay. I was pretty heavy with Rhino.
So you had the big stomp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah. They did nerf Ashe's thing, so instead of it just going to every single enemy within a radius of you, you have to actually, you hit the button and it turns on this kind of vision, which changes your HUD a little bit. But when you see an enemy and put your crosshair on that enemy, it tags that enemy. And you can tag them up to 3 times for 3 stacking of this slash damage. And you can select as many enemies as you want with as much energy as you could use. So each enemy or each tag would cost like 7 or 8 energy.
Okay.
And like I said, you can tag them up to 3 times depending on how much you want to do against them or how hard they are. So it's still quite a bit of being overpowered, but it brings it down to the level of most other Warframes.
Okay.
So I really like his ultimate, and I like playing as him.
Well, nice. So are the bosses still pretty challenging, or?
Yes and no.
Some are, some aren't.
Yeah, and there's no real reason to go to the bosses unless you don't have their Warframe parts.
Oh yeah, just trying to get like specific stuff out of
Yeah, they still haven't changed that. So as long as once you get the Warframe parts from each boss, there's no reason ever to go back and fight them. They do have like a weekly sortie event, which is like just the I wouldn't necessarily say a raid. It's just extremely hard versions of some levels that ends in an extremely hard box fight.
Sounds interesting.
When I say extremely hard, I just mean that they're all buffed.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're nerfed, and that's it. Yeah. There's not many additional things that I've noticed. I've only done a few of them because I don't care.
One frame that Chris liked a lot was he makes all these like kind of small gravity wells. I forget the name.
Maybe Vauban.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten that Warframe yet, but I've seen a lot of players doing it. That Warframe is a bitch to get because you can only get it, that I know of, you can only get it from these timed events that just randomly pop up.
Ooh.
Not randomly, but like every 15, 20 minutes or so, a new event happens. There's a random chance in that event.
Oh.
It'll tell you if it has it in there, but there's a random chance to get to this event. So far, most of the time, it's been late at night or really early in the morning when it's happening when I'm asleep.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Any other games you've been playing recently? What about the game that we were just playing?
Oh yeah, what was it called?
I was trying to remember the name. I was like, it's Rogue Legacy.
No, it's not. It's from the makers of Rogue Legacy.
I understand why.
Let's do some clicking.
Okay.
Figure this out.
It's Full Metal Furies.
Full Metal Furies.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a fun game.
It was pretty fun, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it gets cluttered, but it's fine.
Yeah, I think with 4 players, that would be pretty hectic.
Well, no, it'd be the same amount. Just have one more person on the screen. I'm saying like enemy locations and all the effects that are happening on the screen.
I was surprised with like how much story there was to the game.
Yeah, there's strangely lately there's been a lot more story added to beat 'em up games, like side scrollers. There's one that's called Mother Russia Bleeds. Sounds badass. It is fucking badass. Like you're
something in terms of like Papers, Please or something like that.
A little bit, but a lot darker, like a lot crazier, because you inject yourself with hypo steroids and fucking murder people.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. And they don't shy away from how you do it. There's lots of blood. There's lots of gore. A lot of dismemberment. A lot of stuff. It did have a story. And
it did?
Yes, it did.
Huh.
And it played out. There's one beat 'em up. I forget what it's called. I saw YouTubers play it. It had different paths in it, and depending on which paths you took, altered the story massively.
For the Russia thing or something else?
For something else.
Okay.
Like they were a resistance movement, and they found where the resistance base is at. They could go to that base, or they can go the other way to this other area. If they went to the other area, it just fucking said that they cowered it out and decided to go this other way, and the game still went, and the game still kept going. It still added levels, and they still had more stuff to play through.
Wow.
And more story based on that decision.
Kind of sounds like you're describing being human.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Being human? Wait.
Becoming human?
Is it the new Detroit game?
Yeah.
That's Become Human.
Become human.
Okay. I knew what you were saying.
Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about any shows?
Been
watching anything good lately?
Yeah, my wife and I actually, we finally started getting into Attack on Titan Season 2.
How is that?
We got like 9 episodes in, and the bombshells that keep dropping.
Oh, man.
Like episode 8 is fucking ridiculous. Have you seen it all?
No, I really don't care. I'm like 3 episodes into season 1.
Oh, okay. Well, spoilers for Attack on Titan Season 2.
Because season 3 is coming up.
Mm-hmm. There's just one moment where 2 of Aaron's classmates, like they're on top of a wall. Mm-hmm. And this is after this big, rough battle. Mm-hmm. They're on top of this wall, and these 2 classmates come up to Aaron, and like they're like, "Hey, Aaron, come over here." And he goes over there, and they start talking to him, and like it zooms out, and it looks like it's starting to like the camera's starting to follow some other people, and you hear him like very vaguely in the background say, "Hey, I'm the armor Titan that you saw in the first episode. He's the big Titan that you saw in the Colossal Titan." It's like, we're both Titans, so do you want to come with us? And like it treats it like it's just background noise.
Wow, that's a really weird weird way to handle a major plot moment. It's just like,
my wife and I just like looked at each other, we're like, what? Whoa, hey, what?
Is that how the episode ended?
No.
Oh
no, yeah, right.
Was it the halfway point? Because like that's how you end the scene. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and he was like, good one, guys. It's kind of silly. And like one of the 2 friends, the other one who didn't talk to Aaron, looks at the guy and is like, "What? Fuck, we're doing this now?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're doing this now." and we're like, "What the fuck?"
It's like, we're not ready for Operation Sparrow, don't you?
Yeah.
He's like, cuckoo, stop.
Yeah, really.
Oh shit.
It was pretty fun.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't get into the show. I don't know why.
Well, it is a lot of like, I wouldn't say torture porn, but it's a lot of like
gory kind of stuff.
Yeah, and
I don't know. That was the reason. I think maybe it's just the plot was kind of boring to me.
True. It also forces people into bad situations. Like, there could be better ways to do this, but they're not going to do it, and they choose the worst option every time.
Well. You're not really selling me on the show.
I'm just saying. How I describe it is PTSD, the anime. So, if you want to get into that, that's your choice.
For 2 minutes, we're going to talk about Isekai Mao.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, pie.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, oh, pie.
Yeah.
That's Japanese for dem titties.
Yeah, that was... I showed you the second episode.
Uh-huh.
I assume both first and second episode.
45 seconds into the second episode, he's groping a woman.
Yeah. That was going on. That show, it goes places.
It breaks my Mormon heart.
He's in the bed of two other...
I saw the face of the devil in that episode.
His name was Mao.
Yep. His name was Diablo.
Yeah. Satan did join that guild. And they're like, thanks for joining, Satan.
Yeah, you really don't have to. And he's like, well, oh well.
I'm sitting here, aren't I?
Yeah.
I signed.
He made a deal with them.
I love this. The blood contract he signs.
Yeah, they have to sign this, they have to slice their thumb and put a little bloody thumbprint on there. And he goes to slice his thumb and it just fucking gushes out everywhere. Just sprays half the sheet.
Half the contract sheet is just covered in his blood.
Yep. They're like, that was enough.
Yep. Cool. If we ever need to run some DNA tests.
If we ever need to look at your contract again, well, there's a lot more blood on it and we can't read it because of all the blood.
If you're reading the fine print, oh wait, we can't.
Yep. That was his master plan all along. He read that fine print in the millisecond it took when they were showing it to him.
I don't know. I want to see what a full season of the show looks like. But that's it. That was 2 minutes. We can't talk about the show anymore.
Oh, okay.
It was an in-out little bit of
okay. It's like this week on Isekai Mao.
Yeah, it was. Whew. I am going to keep watching it.
Okay.
It's going to be nice. Other than that, I watched a movie. I watched a movie from 2007.
Okay.
It was
there were a few that came out then.
A DC animated movie.
Ooh.
About Superman.
Was it All-Star Superman?
No, that's the one that you don't like.
No, that's the one I like. That's the one I really like.
Wait, isn't that the one where he deals with all of his problems?
Yeah. Oh,
it was Superman Doomsday. It was Superman Doomsday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to see him die.
Yeah.
Air quotes heavy on that.
Yeah. It was fun.
You saw Batman versus Superman, didn't you?
No. Not the movie. No, I'm sorry. I watched a good movie.
In Batman versus Superman, they do introduce Doomsday.
Yeah.
He does kill Superman.
I'm aware of the plot.
Okay.
So, Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. I get it. But no, one thing I did really enjoy it because it the way they told it made me have this feeling or this realization that I hadn't really had for Superman's character.
Yeah,
because he's a poorly written character.
He is, because nobody knows how to properly write him.
Yeah, but I think I saw like a lot of like good strengths to his character and things like that. Because it was kind of I think it's easy to have a macho mindset. Like, let me just describe it. So, Superman is fighting Doomsday in the movie, and he starts to lose and he starts to bleed, and people are like, "Whoa, he doesn't."
Yeah, he doesn't do that.
Yeah,
this is pretty serious.
Yeah, he usually can just handle any problem, and this is getting really serious. And just Superman's response is just to get up again and to go harder.
Yep.
Because he knows if he can't take care of this,
nobody can.
Nobody can. If he ever faces any problem, or if he ever struggles to do something, what that means is he has to try even harder to get it done.
Yep.
Because if he's not going to be able to do it, there's nobody else that can do it.
Yep. Superman is the first and last bastion.
That's a lot of pressure.
It is, right?
I really never just as a character to have that mindset that like if you ever have a hard time at something, that means that you need to take care of it.
Yep.
Because you know that nobody else can take care of it for you.
That's pretty heavy shit to put on somebody.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, that's really tough. Mm-hmm. Just to live with that like, not only do you have to do the small stuff and the big stuff, but just, Jesus Christ. I just never...
You mean Clark Kent?
seen or felt that mindset from Superman. And I think that's also like kind of an easy macho mindset to fall into, which I don't think he takes it that way, but I think like definitely a lot of guys can have that mindset, like a lot of fathers or things like that. Like,
what I liked about All-Star Superman, because I watched Doomsday and I got a lot of that points too. What I like about All-Star Superman is it takes all these writers that had portrayed Superman as a god, however their writing style made him not have the hubris of a god and make him feel like a man instead of a god. What All-Star Superman does is he knows he is the most powerful being in the universe. So everything does become trivial because why not? And that's what he does to take care of everything. He realizes that he's dying. That's not a spoiler. That's just something happens in the very beginning of the movie. He understands he's dying of age or something. So just fucking take care of all the rest of the problems. Why not? Do it. And he does. That's what I like.
He wraps everything up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He kind of just finishes his bucket list.
Yep.
It's kind of instead of All-Star Superman, could have just been called Superman's bucket list.
He arm wrestled Hercules.
Yeah.
Yep.
He really just... Superman's bucket list is really what that movie was.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things get thrown in. So many things are thrown in there. Mm-hmm. We're like, wow, how do we get from here to here to here to here to here?
Yeah.
But I think seeing that mindset for Superman that I had from Doomsday, that echoes throughout his character throughout like almost every iteration I've seen of him. Like if even when he's with the Justice League, if they fight some opponent or something, or do some new challenge comes up, and he kind of like, he's right, he's the first and last, so he'll go in and he'll try to handle it. And if he starts to struggle, then he kind of gear shifts the team. Like, okay, cool, I'm having a hard time with this opponent. I will be the only one to handle this opponent. You guys find some side option or some side step to beat him, and I will either beat him myself, or I will have bought you enough time to find a way to beat him.
Yep.
And that's just that's his role in the team, and it's just
it's a depressing reality that he has to deal with.
Yeah, and he takes it pretty well.
Yep.
I'm sure there's a lot better ways to write him, because those are really good character traits to work with. It's fascinating. But yeah, he's usually relegated to the Boy Scout, super amoral character.
We never really see Superman get psychologically tired.
Yeah, I guess that's what. Yeah, that's a big thing with it. Sort of in the same way of like All Might.
Yeah,
more or less, or like the show or the front that All Might puts up of like he always has a smile. Like he never ever wants to show that he can't handle it or he can't do something. That he's that beacon or that pillar of hope.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are some comics that it did happen, but I haven't read them. That'd be really cool to see them. And there's also like all these alternate universe Supermans where one of them is like, you know what, fuck it, I'm tired of dealing with your problems, so you do it on your own. And that's how that happened. But I would like a Superman just becoming desperate and trying to deal with everything at once, and it just the psychological toll takes it on him. And instead of him just
kind of realizing the limitations of his omnipresence.
Yes, I would like to see that.
Knowing he can't be everywhere. I really loved the Mr. Oz or Dr. Oz, I think it was Mr. Oz scenario, to where more or less all or the majority of Superman's villains are just murdered and taken out.
Yep.
And in secret. And Superman is like, my rogues gallery is getting pretty small.
Yeah.
I can't figure out who's doing this, though. I know it's not me, but I know they're definitely targeting like my villains. oh well. I mean, he's kind of keeping it in his back mind.
I was like, well, that's cool.
but the reason behind that is that after a while, after like a couple months of like almost no Metallo or Toyman or any of these villains, Superman doesn't have any supervillains to fight. And so he kind of just has to deal with like a lot of small problems. And so like issues that were coming up were like a lot of this like racism issues or things like that. And it's like, cool, Superman, fix that.
Yeah, these are issues that Superman as a person shouldn't be there to fix.
Yeah.
It should be more of a governmental or societal issue to fix.
Yeah.
But instead, Superman's here.
But Oz's point was no, Superman, you should be doing this. You are of good moral character, and you should be leading this planet in a positive way and trying to grow it, and, trying to fix the root of its problems and not just this. And he goes, and your supervillains are what is keeping you from doing that, because your supervillains are people that only you can handle. And because of that, you're too busy to deal with the root of like your planet's issues.
Yeah.
So let me remove your distractions and let me see what you do now.
Yep.
And it was very interesting. So I think that was a very interesting kind of path or tangent to go, Superman.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was good. We went. These are getting longer and longer.
They are. Well, because we get on our own tangents.
Yeah. So, but thanks for joining. I don't know who will be here next week, but
no,
I will be here next week.
Yeah, Zach will find out next week.
All right.
See y'all later.